Welcome to the Stats on Stats Pod, yeah.
Hey, Michaela, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are pretty good.
Yeah. Do you watch the NBA playoffs?
I didn't. I'm not really into sports right now. Kind of locked into some studying and some other things going on. So I'm oblivious to what's going on right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to not watch sports. Anyway, do you...
You just don't like it.
Take that part out. Everyone likes sports. All right. So do you know what's about to happen before we get into the hard-hitting questions?
I believe you guys are going to interview me, and hopefully I can provide some good responses and some cool stories. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Did you put it in the one-pager? Oh, there was no one-pager. We just sent your questions? Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is a pleasant surprise, unless you watched the first 1 minute of our show before this. Anyway, so we're about to play a game called That's My Jam, 90s R&B edition.
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh,
Yeah, it'll be good.
All right.
that's new.
Note to self, she is not part of the first 60-second analytics. Got it. All right. So here are the rules to this game. We are going to play 4 covers of 90s R&B songs. Just to reiterate, they're covers for copyright reasons. You know, don't want to get flagged or whatever. You have until the end of the song to guess either the name of the artist or the name of the song. You have 2 guesses. When you're ready to guess, you can just say it or you can say pause. Either one is fine. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I can be, I guess. So, ready.
Okay.
You got this.
Are you a 90s R&B fan?
I can't say I. So it's funny because I'm like, I don't.
Okay.
Possible.
All right. Cool. Song number 1.
Since you've been gone, I've been hanging around here lately with my mind messed up. Jumped in my car, tried to clear my mind, didn't help me. Guess I'm all messed up now, baby. As soon as I jumped into my ride, those memories start to play.
Go off, Tiffany.
Song comes on the radio, and there you are, baby, once again.
Wow. The vocals were amazing. I have no idea. I have any idea. Sorry.
Oh man.
All right, we'll give it to Candace. Who is it?
Tony Braxton.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that your karaoke song?
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
I do love karaoke though. But
All right, add that point to her
old score back a year ago.
All right. It's all good. You got 3 more chances. You ready? Song number 2.
I've seen the world, been to many places. I made lots of friends, many different races, yeah.
These are deep cuts.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
I've had such fun around the world, it's true. African skies with the Nairobi mood. Oh, I fell asleep in Tuscany and dreamed. The one thing missing was you.
Oh, I
If
need
it goes
more.
a little longer, yeah, I would have got it.
You got it?
No, but that was really relaxing. I was very much so like, I'd love to find out. So does anybody else?
All right, Tiffany, who is it?
So, actually, I think that one's Breakdown.
None of us know.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness, none of us know who it is.
Yeah, no, that one.
All right, song
I don't know
number
which
3.
one that one is.
Everybody got buzzed.
Wait, look, to be fair, she sent us the songs kind of late last night. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
That one, bring me all the way off.
Right. Song number 3, please.
Sleepless nights and lonely days are all that fill my head all of the time. Oh, baby, but all I do is think about the way you make me feel. feel.
Okay, Gianna.
'Cause baby, this love is so real.
Yeah, this is the jam.
She didn't do that. She was singing though. She's like, you want the rest? Come to my show. I'll be at 7th and Grove.
That's real.
You
Hey,
got it?
no idea, but the singer, whoever that is, they are doing their thing. So we love that.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay, do you?
Yeah, that one is As Soon As I Get Home by Faith Evans. Oh my gosh.
So good.
She
That's a
just
classic.
killed that one.
You and me, we right here. We right here.
Oh
I had
my
no
gosh.
clue. I had no clue. Last song number 4.
Oh, God.
You called just today to basically say that you care for me, but that you're just not in love. Immediately, I pretended to be feeling similarly and led you to believe I was okay to just walk away from the one thing that's in you that is sacred to me.
Ooh.
Yeah,
felt that.
She got heat, man. Today.
Hey, no idea,
Nothing.
but yeah. Sorry.
Here for the vibes. Here for the vibes. It's cool.
Okay, so that one was Breakdown by Mariah Carey. The other one, the name of it was Runaway, but I don't know what that song is.
Yeah. I
But
didn't.
yeah.
Okay, well, it's cool. Your score is it's the average, so you're good. You're solid. You're, 0 out of 4 is
goodness.
everybody pretty much. All right, let me fix my glasses. Hold on.
What?
All right, let's go ahead and. I feel like fellow glasses wearers, we get it, especially when we're wearing headphones. Like I feel like my
It's a
glasses.
lot happening over here with mine.
Yeah.
I got earrings, poker bead, glasses. It's a lot
Yeah,
happening.
like I just feel like there's a lot going on. Anyways, okay, so let's go ahead and get into the reason people actually come here, the ones who watch past the first 60 seconds. I'm sorry. If it's your first time, welcome. If you already know the vibes, welcome back. I'm Jordan, aka Jay, aka The Chosen One, aka Big Stepper, and I am here with 2 co-hosts today.
Yeah, I am Tiffany B, and we are here with
Candace Williams.
Awesome. And today we are, as always, we are here to do a podcast where we get to talk to leaders, cyber, IT, technology, so many spaces. And speaking of those leaders, today we have someone with us. We're going to let her tell you who she is, where she's from, what she does, and how long she has been in this space. So take it away.
Sure. Hi, everybody watching at home. I'm Michaela Barnett, founder and executive director of Black and Cybersecurity headquarters. I'm a penetration tester by day and helping run our organization by night. I've been in this space for, I guess, a little over 3 years penetration testing and a few more years of IT experience behind me. So I've touched a lot of different things, and I'm looking forward to just continuing specializing and training to be an offensive security specialist and being that subject matter expert. So I definitely have so much to learn, and I'm definitely a student of the game. So I'm just excited to do that, as well as, bring others up with me in this journey. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm just excited to talk to you guys today.
Before we dive too deep, I just want everybody to know that I probably slightly stalked you to get you here, and I hope you're okay with that.
It happens.
What is happening? So I don't like my only question, because then for the rest of the episode they're gonna be the hosts and I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the show. My only question is, Blacks in Cyber Security, what is that?
So yeah, we have an interesting story. So I could take you all the way back to the beginning, or give you that topical overview. So yeah, I guess I'll start at the beginning. So flashback, turned my tassel at the Delaware State University. Go Hornets, over in Dover, Delaware, Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. Me and 7 other people, maybe 8 out of the whole school. So we grew very close, and we developed this kind of pseudo culture or subculture in computer science of going to this room called the lounge, right? And in there we would study, wait for class, eat. We would even have foot races at 3 a.m. because, of course, we're studying for our test and we're high off of energy drinks, coffee, and the Wawa runs. So a lot of cool memories of just wandering around the science building and just trying to help each other in a field where, we didn't have a lot of support. Like the professors always did their best. But, at HBCUs, especially further back, we didn't have the support we could have had. So we kind of had to help each other go to open source projects, let each other know about opportunities. One professor who would always send out like a list of grants, list of opportunities, list of internships, and we're all excited to get one. So the culture that I came into was like very much so, hey, we're here together, let's study, let's learn, let's try to find opportunities together. And back when I was a freshman, it was really rare to have any opportunity. Like the opportunities were like, oh wow, so-and-so got an internship. And it's like at other schools, it's like everyone gets an internship or everyone has an opportunity. But having an opportunity over those long summers versus the things you could just pick up or projects you could do yourself, that kind of made the difference between you and the job market and you not really being in the job market, or you going to conferences and coming back with a job really meant a lot back then. So matriculating through my years, you know, in the background of my studies, I would always wonder, like, let's formalize this. Let's figure out a way to apply for that funding or get that backing or work in research laboratories on campus without finding out about it at the last minute. So it's like just having that information pool and developing that as I matriculated really helped me grow and learn in the space and like find out what even cybersecurity is. Because of course, you know, in a computer science program, they kind of prefer that you go the developer route because that's kind of something that they can itemize, metric, and like train you for. But being the person I am, I'm like, so what's cybersecurity and how do I get paid to hack people? Even though back then that was kind of like, you know, Mr. Robot was coming out and people were just kind of learning about that in mainstream. So it's like, okay, like how do I figure out a way to do this? And is there a community? Pardon me. So I stumbled upon something called the DEF CON documentary. And back then, I think it was only a few years old or it just came out. But I remember watching that in my dorm room and my whole world changed. I'm like, how do I get to Las Vegas, Nevada in August? Of course you want to go there in August, right? It's hot as I don't know what, it's dry. We're gonna figure out a way to get there, right? So me and a group of students who were also kind of interested, it's like we would huddle around our computers or we would figure out a way to find videos and tutorials. We installed Kali Linux. You know, we were rolling. Like that was it, right? So just like we would figure out ways to get what we need to get to find even an ounce of information, right? So between our already predefined culture of like helping each other, learning, creating these group chats and like trying to figure out problems, you know, we kind of broke off to say, all right, well, how do we learn cybersecurity, what cybersecurity is and how do we learn like how to get into this field, right? So during my tassel, our community, you know, it breaks apart again, right? We started out broken apart and unknowing. We came together. We break apart again to go to our different roles and responsibilities to our new entry-level jobs. You know how it is. You take that first job seriously. So it's just, you know, you get paid just enough money to go live in your box apartment and have like a small dog or cat, right? So it's just like amazing. I'm living the adult dream. But, you know, in those rooms, when it's completely empty, you have like maybe one piece of furniture and your fluffy animal of choice, right? You look around and you realize you're just not in the dorms anymore. Like you can't go next door and find somebody who might have a pen to use or like a pack of pencils. You can't go downstairs and see what people are doing in the common rooms. Like you are understanding the reality of what it is to be an adult now. Your own bills, your own hobbies. You have to figure out a way to make friends or connections as an adult. So sitting in my empty apartment, right, starting my first big job and feeling like an adult for the first time, like how do I foster community? Especially coming from an HBCU where that is the community. You know, everyone kind of knows each other on smaller campuses. Everybody kind of has a feel for who people are and what they want to do. And you kind of get to know that as you matriculate and you can help each other out later on, right? So via LinkedIn or social media, you know, you kind of have that pseudo community of support. But as an adult, like, you're just like, all right, I'm a life freshman. That's what I call it. Like you're a life freshman. You don't know anything. You kind of are stumbling through life. You don't, like literally one time I went to Aldi, like my second day out, I'm like, wow, I'm an adult. Went to Aldi, dropped a can on my foot and like started bleeding. I'm like, man, this is peak adulting. Adulting 1, zero, right? So it's just like, man,
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Did you just say you?
Can on her foot, yeah.
It's
and
true.
Started bleeding.
What kind of shoes were you wearing? Like,
It was
sandals. Had to be.
Yes, it was like August in DC metro area, and I'm like, all right, let me get my cans because I'm gonna be healthy and cook all my meals at home. You know how it is. Like you're like, I'm gonna budget and do my things right. You go to Aldi. First thing I picked up fell down. I was like, well, adulting 1, 0. That's it. Like I guess I'm gonna go home now. Because it started bleeding. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? So,
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I had to like. All right. So you were in right? Like I needed to know. So we all wanted to know, low key.
I mean,
It's
not
okay.
me, because we know I'm clumsy. I got to my first deployment and I was like, oh, I need a knife. And I got the knife and I was trying to open it and I stabbed myself in the thumb. So,
Real. So,
and yes, I bled.
Okay.
Okay.
Adulting one.
Do you have any drop the can stories?
I burnt eggs in the dorms at my first duty station, and it caused everyone to have to leave the dormitory.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I didn't bleed, though, but I did cause evacuation in my dorms.
I'll
So,
take the bloody thumb.
Yeah, that's so cringe. I was like, that cringe is on a different level. Other people were involved. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry about that. So
No.
you were at all the figuring out that you're an adult. I need to hear the rest of the story because it's good.
right. So literally, I'm like, man, how do I do anything? So of course, on the way back, like I get some paper towels from the bathroom. I'm shuffling my way back, bagging my own groceries, sitting in the car. Like, I can't go. I don't even know what to do. Like, is it going to get infected? You know how it is. It's like, for whatever reason, that's like what they ingrained in me. It's like, do I need to go to urgent care? Is it going to get infected? It's a can from a grocery store. And of course, now it's like, put some rubbing alcohol on it and move on. But it's like, when you're a life freshman, you're basically a teenager with some money now. So you're like, what do I do? But it's like, that's kind of like the point in life where you're at. It's like, I need to find out what my support system is and what it's not, what I'm going to stand on as a person, what I'm not. And you learn that through your 20s. So anyway, let me get to the important part, like life freshman, living, trying to get it together. And I stumble upon like a couple group chats, because back then group chats were the thing, GroupMe or I think Discord came after, but a couple of minority in tech or, meetups, group chats, whatever. Stumble upon B-sides, security B-sides. So I'd gone to one security B-sides before in Delaware. So shout out to Delaware B-sides. I don't know if they're still running, but that was one of my first ones. And I, was really kind of embracing in the culture. Like back then it was harder to get resources, but the people in the culture have always been really cool and nice. So learned a lot about it. I was trying to do this puzzle by hand. Somebody walked up to me. Was like, I've never seen somebody try to do something like that by hand. And I'm like, is that not how you do it? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what, 21? I don't know. But literally, it opened my world up to a lot of things. And then I saw that there was B-sides in DC. So B-sides DC, went there with a group of college friends who just so happened to have jobs like around the way, right? So we get there, we meet, try to meet people, and we walked in, and that was like the first culture shock. It's like, all right, this is a homogenous crowd, and we are sticking out. We are sticking out, and that is okay, but we are sticking out. So it's like, all right, well, let's go to a top. Sit in the top. Everyone's looking at us. We're looking at them. We're here. Hi. No response? Okay, cool. Like, go buy merchandise. We want a t-shirt. Okay. It's like, basically the room vibe was at the time, like, why are you here? And it's just like, okay, well, we just came from the HBCU where things were different. The culture was a little bit more, it's like the first time in your life, if you grew up in the suburbs, or you grew up in a predominantly white area, at least for myself, the first time I see the spectrum of intelligence and beauty of the Black community, and I'm immersed in that for 4 years, right? And I'm able to kind of learn without those specific roadblocks. I'm able to experience things without the other things you experience in a more, in a different, I guess, crowd, right? So you go from acceptance and understanding, you go into the real world where it's like, yeah, you're reintroduced to what you kind of knew before, but this time you have different tools to manage it, or you have a different sense of self from an HBCU. So it's like, we walk in, we're confident, we're cool, but people are not necessarily understanding kind of processes. So I turned to my friend, we should do something like this for Black people. Be careful what you say. So that turned into the last years of my life being completely different than I have ever imagined it could possibly be. So that's what we kind of did. It's just like, all right, let's throw some ideas back and forth. Okay, whatever. Some things materialized, some things didn't. Reached out to my college friend, right? Hey, I need a logo. So he sent over a pack of logos. That looks cool. Okay, what should the colors be? Obviously, red, black, and green. Okay, what should we call it? Black in cyber, what are we gonna do? Maybe Black Hat. Black Hat's already taken. Black Afro, does that make sense? It's like all sorts of stuff. It's just like, all right, well, we need a group chat. So we start a group chat with the 4 of us, and then we just keep going to conferences, local B-sides and conferences, finding people who look like us who are like, I am here, I am different. And then it was just like, hey, join the group chat. Hey, do this. So 4 became 6, 6 became 8. Look down, it's 80 people. Who are the people from Arkansas? Like, how did they get in here? And it's just like, all right, well, we're growing this group chat randomly. We're sharing resources. We're doing the things we would do at conferences because, unfortunately, people weren't necessarily as open to sharing things with us. Like, we went to talks, went to workshops. We supported the local hacker community. Unfortunately, we weren't as accepted just showing up as is. So it's like, all right, well, I want to learn this. All right, I have this PDF for this. I have a Vapture. I have a spare GAC exam, things like that. It's like, it just kept growing as a group chat. The intention wasn't necessarily to build out this whole big organization, but there wasn't a choice. Sometimes things are just thrust upon you and there's not really a way to like manage it. You just have to roll with the punches, right? And I know I've been talking for a little bit, so I'll definitely try to tie it up, right? So we get there, we have a logo, we have something going on. We have our first conference in the Greenbelt Library. It was free. We could reserve the room. It was a total of like, 20, 30 people. Those same people have come back to the organization and seen its growth. But from there, we just kicked off. Like, we just did it. There wasn't necessarily a plan. There wasn't necessarily, a whole big vision. It was just, we need to meet a need. And it looks like we're the only ones doing it right now. So shout out to everyone who was there in the beginning supporting me, even though I was like I was just a young person. I was 21, 22 years old. Like, all right, I want to do this thing. And no one had really ever done that before. It wasn't something we could find, So that community just grew into what it is today. It's one of the best experiences. So that's the origin, and I could definitely keep it going. So
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
How many people do y'all have now?
it kind of depends. Like some people are more visible on the internet, some people aren't. I'd say like 2,000 to 3,000 people on our online community, and definitely a lot more worldwide. We're in a lot of different countries now. We roll out our ambassador program 2.0. Shout out to Big UK, United Kingdom. UK and his group are over there building out the United Kingdom. Nigeria, Big Nigeria, very active in Discord, very strong. We're excited to have them in their live streams of different things that they do. And we're just excited to build it out globally. Like, even if it is that local group versus, doing these bigger things, just having that community there really supports people. So we're excited.
So you went from zero, literally you in college with an idea, to now 3,000 members globally. You mentioned a couple different countries. So like, in terms of leadership, what are some like leadership things you can look back on and say, I wish I would have done this differently now that I'm here, or just advisement on leading something like this and growing it from grassroots? Like, what does that look like?
Right. Well, I could give you a hot take or I could give you an answer. So how do we want to go?
Whatever you feel in your spirit, go with it.
Okay.
Club
Unfortunately,
Shay Shay.
Yes.
Give me that hot
hey.
take.
Well, here, let me think. I wish I had not necessarily listened to people in the upper age bracket. Unfortunately, you can't get advice from people who've never done something before. So if you haven't built something like this out before successfully, keyword successfully, or managed it long term, you cannot act like you're giving advice to somebody and then turn around, right? It's like, I was going to do that anyway. What do you mean? Like, just like, of course we're going to have a conference. We're going to do that anyway. Of course we're going to file our nonprofit status. We're going to do that anyway. It may be some Gmail accounts right now, but in the middle of quarantine, you don't have a choice. It's like, build it. They'll come. Everyone's janky. Everyone's a little loose. Even though the whole world doesn't know what to do, but if we can hold on to community and keep training people, that's the function. At the end of the day, it's like people have looked back and said, oh, you should scale up and you should do this. You should become this big bloated organization. It's like, we're a hacker group at the core. Like, we are not interested in the unnecessary corporation-based build out you could have, when in reality, you need a couple dedicated people, a solid mission, and the ability to help people, even if you're just skill sharing in a library, a Zoom, a Discord, or a live stream. Unfortunately, like they say, more money, more problems. Like, I'd rather keep it simple, keep overhead low, and keep things as free as they possibly can be, versus scaling up to something that's an institution, which would be an amazing function to have in an organization. But if it means what is it? Like going away from the mission and not focusing on how to help people when they need it most, then that's not what we need to be doing. So unfortunately, it's okay as a generation to say, you know what, we got to let them have that. We got to let them build it. We need to let them lead because they know what the deficit is. They've experienced the deficit that was unfortunately left by our generation. So let that generation be, and we will support them. And if people could do that, I think that that's kind of how we have to keep going. So I'm excited to see for myself as I approach 30. 30, like no one wants to be 30, but like I'm seeing the teenagers become young adults. I'm seeing the young adults become older adults, right? And they're building out their own thing. And it's an amazing thing to be able to say, I was you once and I can support you any way you want to. But what I do know is that you have it on your heart to do it. And that's all I can say. So I'm just so proud of everyone doing something at a younger age right now. So yeah.
You talked about how you saw yourself grow and you got to, your first conference, and I'm sure that in that moment there were a multitude of feelings that you can look back on now and say, like, I didn't expect this overwhelming flow of these emotions. Can you talk to us about that moment where you find everything that you saw in your mind came to fruition and you just had, what are 3 emotions that you can remember from that moment?
Right. Yeah, so from that moment, it's like I have a lot of different moments where I've seen the shift, the impact of what we have done and how that's changed the culture. But I just want to bring up, I guess, one example. It's like we were at a B-Sides and we had met a few other families that had, joined BIC, or like, hey, your dad's like an IT analyst and the mom is like a GRC person. It's like people who have come together in BIC and like BIC has connected them, or like they learned about BIC and they've joined. But to see people's children like arguing over, that's not how you write that, or that's not how you do this, or you need to use this tool. It's like seeing the kids actually like know kind of what's going on, and like even watching them argue over things, like that's progress. Is that they're exposed to it and they're not afraid of it. They don't think that that it's not for them or that it's something above them. In fact, they're inserting themselves in it and they're interested in building more. So just watching families have, families and children just be able to see, okay, these are the people doing this and it's not different from me. We had one little girl, she came to the table, she picked up a badge and she held it and she was like, I'll protect this with my life. And I'm like, first of all, that is a lot to say, little girl. Second of all, it's like, the ideas from, my mind, like, hey, let's get an Air Force One badge because that's for the culture. And then everybody wear Air Force Ones on this day. And it's like for the culture and it means something. But the fact that her little self was like understanding through this like totem, like, it's not above me, it's a part of me. It's kind of like watching how the movie Black Panther like impacted people. It's like it wasn't separate, it was simply integrated, or it's something that was hidden, now it's brought to light. So it's just nice to see the children and families interacting, and see the children see iconography that represents them, and that just breaks down barriers. So that's a big moment for me. So not just the kids, but the teenagers that, they're on Discord playing games anyway, and now they're on Hack the Box and Try Acme, getting in bug bounty programs, making a little extra money. So things like that, seeing the college students that aren't clueless and, going through adulthood, and they actually have somewhere they can go where it's like, all right, well, I can't necessarily do that. I can't pay for this, but if I volunteer some time, I can learn a new skill and that can help me get to my career. So it's just seeing each iteration of life be impacted in a different way. And I think that's really great, especially.
So do you guys offer training programs for different age ranges? Because you mentioned kids and their parents and different generations. So do you guys offer training for K through 12 or college students and adults? Is it across that whole spectrum?
So for us, it's kind of like, I guess, an exposure thing. So when people bring their families, bring their kids, they're able to see it. Unfortunately, we wouldn't have the infrastructure or I guess the necessary requirements to, I guess, train children, just because that's a whole different ballpark. But as far as, 18 and up, adults, college students, it's like that's what we would have as far as open source, Discord, just the things that we can actually offer them that are tangible. So I would love to see that grow out a little bit more structurally versus just the exposure to where we are and what we're doing. But yeah, so anybody watching, if you want to help us build that out, please let us know. Get in contact with us.
You talked earlier about the little girl who picked up the badge from one of your locations, but you recently picked up badges too, right? With BIC from DEF CON, you picked up one of their Black Badge Awards from DEF CON. Can you talk about that?
Not me personally, but our organization has been selected, right, by the illustrious Grifter, I believe, and over in contests at in DEF CON in their department. They go around and they see different contests going on each DEF CON, and they select different contests to receive a Black Badge for their contest winner. And that's a great way to kind of distribute like who can have it, who cannot. And of course, they always have one for their CTF participants for the official DEF CON CTF. So yeah, that happened in the very first year, and I believe the second year, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be our, I guess, our Black History Expose, and then our Wakanda themed village as well. And wow, that was definitely a life-changing experience. Shout out to Socks to CTF, Nico Smith, I guess I'll say his government. Hopefully he's not mad. But he's definitely held down the majority of our CTF, as soon as, as far as, building out initially was. I do have a story about him because I know in our first virtual conference, he built out like a telephony system. He built out all these different challenges for people. And of course, back then we didn't necessarily have the funding. So it was me, the other people there were all putting our adult credit cards like, all right, let's see how much credit card credit we can use to put on this virtual conference and then figure it out. And yeah, those are the scrappy times. But, shout out to him through the times when it was scrappy and it wasn't popular and it wasn't necessarily great. We still put out a solid product and the product was solid enough to get the recognition from somebody with 20 years of experience, I believe, just looking at contests and evaluating what was best for that year. So that moment was definitely just like life changing. It's like, wow, so we're here, with our, our skeleton crew of people, not a whole lot of things going on, but a dedicated and well thought out CTF and a good arrangement of talks for a first year village. And we went and, the people understood and accepted. And that was the moment where I believe we were able to showcase Black talent. And then from there, it grew. Now we have our international CTF contributors. We have our US-based, our HQ contributors. And we're really growing out the people who can showcase their talent, their ingenuity and creativity through our CTF to the world, on the world stage. So that's just really exciting. And I just remember definitely dropping a few tears. Like, the last few years haven't been easy. Quarantine was the worst time because we had a lot of things we wanted to do. We had a lot of adversity. There were a lot of resources, but there wasn't a lot of ways to get it. And it was just, it was kind of like a final moment of all right, finally, we're able to get exposure. We're able to see, this impacts a community greater than us and we're able to contribute to it. And I do believe we earned a bit of respect, right? People understand that we're not here just to be, we're here to contribute. And unfortunately, DEI wasn't what was on the menu. It was who's here to really put down and show what they can do. And, there's so much talent in our African countries. And unfortunately, it's not always showcased as well. So I'm really excited to just expand that into our, our fellow people in the African diaspora and just showcasing that talent, showcasing what we're able to do, and have people really recognize that. So it was definitely humble beginnings to, showing up on the world stage, and that was really exciting.
I just wonder with the DEI issues we've had recently, right? Not to be political, but has it impacted big, right? Have you guys had issues with partnerships? And not to be name drop, but just wondering if it's impacted you guys in any way in your growth or where you're going, or are you guys flying high and it's all good? Just wondering how that's impacted.
Well, back to our leadership hot take, right? So unfortunately, right, the older generation, they would often do a lot of questioning. It was built weird. Why did you do it that way? What were you doing? Back then, I didn't have the vocabulary to say, do you not see that this 2020 phenomenon is going to end at some point? We got to be self-sufficient, right? So, I understand things were done weird or differently, but it was mostly to maintain, all right, what the bare minimum, what can we offer our community? So while it impacts everybody working in this space, contingencies and different things were kind of put in place to say, hey, when the chips are down, how do we provide? When the chips are down, who's here to possibly put up and maybe not get paid back until later? When things get rocky, how are we going to self-sufficient and build on that? A lot of things that we have, it's we're built on community, we're community first, we're community driven. Our mission is serving the community. It's not collecting grants, awards, and other things. It's how do we help people? Who's up at midnight helping people through certification prep the night before? Who's up at 3 a.m. playing King of the Hill, right? Trying to just show people this is how it works, this is what we do. So back to what we are actually functioning as a community, we're doing really well. And I definitely have a lot of thoughts and prayers for people who may have been impacted, and definitely believe that, things should definitely be different. But at the core of it, when you're focused on building community and you're focused on using open source, you're able to kind of circumvent any kind of obstacles. So we're proud of that.
Community building, especially for marginalized communities, it definitely requires deep, I would say empathetic, right, impact. And I'm sure that with that, at some point you've had messages or people who've reached out to you and actually told you how your organization has impacted them as well. So could you talk about any of those moments where you received a message and you saw the growth from that individual and how it impacted them emotionally?
Yeah. See, that's interesting. I don't want to put anybody's name out there, I guess, that I don't know. But yeah, every now and then I'll get a message hey, you don't know me from anything, but what you said here impacted me, or I overheard you talking to somebody, or even somebody who at a B-sides table or at a conference table, I said, hey, this is the certification I would get, this is the path I would follow. And then when they actually do it and reach that goal they've been looking forward to, they come back on LinkedIn or any other medium and they're like, hey, I don't want to bother you, but you impacted me and this is what I've been able to do with my life. And those are the messages that keep me going, because a lot of the time, it's a lot going on, especially in the world, and just doing this mission for so long. So those are the things that keep me going, right? It's just hearing what people have to say. I don't necessarily have anything in particular, but it really is the same kind of message of what you said or what you did or what you built helped me get through X, Y, and Z. And now I'm here reaching my goal or surpassing it. And I think that, that's what matters the most.
Okay. Setting the stage. I have a nephew. I always go back to my nephew. Okay. Nephew, niece,
She's
whatever.
got like 6
I
nephews.
do. I have so, oh man, I have so many. And I have little teeny ones now, so I'm getting ready for them. I'm telling him about Blacks in cybersecurity. And he says, Auntie, okay, I want to see what it's about. Can you tell me what are the top 5 skills or the top 5 things that I'm going to get from joining the Blacks in cybersecurity? Lord have mercy.
Cybersecurity.
Anthony's new editor, leave that in there.
What are 5 things that I'm going to be able to obtain from joining the Blacks in cybersecurity community?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go backwards. 5 is, in the name. It's a community. It's having something bigger than yourself. Like, one of the things, I guess, touching base on what you asked previously is people will put on their big jacket, and some people call it their big armor or something like that. And it's like they'll slip it on, they'll go do a talk, or they'll go to an event. And it's like as soon as you slip that on, people walk a little taller. It means something. There's something behind it. It's bigger than yourself. So just having something that's bigger than yourself, I think, is half the battle as far as, lack of representation, lack of resources. At the very beginning, hey, I have a community, we represent something. And of course, you feel cool, but at the same time, it's like I'm a part of something bigger than myself, working toward a mission, and that's important. So community, right? Number 4, you definitely have resources. People drop links and side chats and different things in there all the time. Big Nigeria, shout out to them. They're always hosting a live stream. You can get knowledge, right? You can get either that PDF that from No Starch, or you can get somebody's old books or laptops. I have a bunch of old computer parts in my closet, right? So every time we have an event, we kind of lay those things out, or we'll take them to DEF CON and say, hey, if you need a monitor, pick up a monitor. You need a server, pick up a server. You need the stack of books, it's yours if you want it. Like, just the things that you can have, even when you don't have very much, you can still use it, have it, and then when it's your turn, give it right back and have somebody else have it. So we like to circulate resources a lot. Number 3 is, programs. We have our programs, red team development, blue team development, the infamous mentorship and speaker development to help people speak in conferences and to have that skill, especially for cybersecurity conferences and the cultural nuances. You can definitely find yourself in a program or contributing to it, mentor or mentee by chance. We definitely accept those. So some people who are mentees, they come back right around and become mentors. Some people who benefited from red and blue team, they come back right around and become an instructor. We pass people through OSCP, PMPT. So those certification programs, they come back and they're teachers aides. It's like, it's a cycle, it's a cyclical community, right? So you come in just with your will to learn, and that's all we ask for. Come in, you spend a few years learning, and then you spend a few years giving back. And then you might take a break, come back to us. Or, it's like, it's just a place where you can develop. You can even develop your leadership skills, right? In that, as far as leading, learning, and just understanding how organizations work. And taking those softer skills on with you along with those harder and technical skills as well. I believe we're at number 2, right? So number 2, I would say, having a place to go. So we do have our conference, right? Our big winter conference. You can also meet us in our DEF CON village. So, it's definitely a time, I'll say, amongst all the villages and all the things that go on. But sometimes people just go to the big village to chill. Like, it's all right, I'm a little overstimulated, and I know here I'm not going to necessarily receive any judgment, or I'm going to know at least people here, and I can just kind of recharge myself and go back out. And I'm like, that's why we're here. It's like kind of like a charging pad, if you will. It's like, all right, I'm a little down right now. I need to go back, recalibrate, and go back out. So I love to see that. Or they play CTF. They're like, man, this is culturally relevant to me, right? So we have a lot of Black cultural relevancies, and it's interesting to see people figure it out. And then you'll see somebody randomly like laughing hard as I don't know what, just like in their computer screen. It's like, oh, you got the joke, like things like that. So it's like, we're just like a funny, awesome group of people for that. And I just really appreciate the things that we do to just make it special for our community there. And number 1 is, you get to make an impact. Even if you just joined, that making an impact, giving us feedback, and just, participating with us, you're part of the magic. And like I was mentioning, like big, it's had its ups and downs, especially when you're younger, figuring things out and just trying to manage and maintain your mission. But big staff, it's just great. These are some of the smartest, most funny, like amazing people that I would have never gotten to meet if I didn't start an organization. So I can speak for myself, and I'm just grateful to be around them, to have them here, impacting our community. So I love that for us, and I hope that they can definitely benefit from that.
I'm here for it. I'm also going to send my godson your way. He's actually going to Bethune-Cookman,
Okay.
and he's in computer science right now. So I will definitely send him your way.
Cool.
So I wonder, when was the Wakanda themed? When was that? When did that happen? Because you said, I was like, where was that? When did that happen?
Oh, okay. Wait, it had to be the second year. See, that's the thing. I'll get them mixed up sometimes, but that had to at least be the second year. We crash landed our spaceship in Wakanda, and that was the theme for our CTF. So you saw like the spaceship, and then you saw the Wakanda in the background. That was the year we sold out of our badges. Shout out to Cybersecurity Circuits manufacturer, who took the vision of our Black Panther face and helped us make it come to life. So that was really popular with people. They'd never seen that before. And that's also a part of our iconography, is just creating things that are culturally relevant to us, and then other people get to experience that as well. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
I liked your village, by the way, during DEF CON. I was there actually. I spent most of my time going to the talks that y'all had, and then hanging out with in the party and doing the CTFs. Y'all got a good little vibe going. So
Yeah.
you actually kind of made my experience, my first DEF CON experience.
Oh, that's great.
Tiffany, I have the questions.
I
got one more,
I had an overly sentimental moment, so now I'm uncomfortable. That's why I looked away.
No, I'll have a
Last
sentimental
time we all
moment.
looked at Tiffany.
Yeah. So this year for DEF CON, are there any specific topics that you're kind of looking forward to? Not only having I know you can't talk too much about your speakers and things like that, but are there any specific topics that you're looking forward to hearing and learning more about?
Yeah. And I think I was trying to say before, I'll have a sentimental moment with you. We've come a long way, and man, I can sit here all day and tell you guys stories. So even you saying that right now, that means a lot for everything that has happened, everything that will happen. But just seeing that we impacted one person, that's just amazing to me. But for the future, I definitely say that, not trying to say too much. Let me think. Let me say you'll want to pack your book bag, and you'll definitely want to come explore with us on campus. So we're excited to have you guys as pupils and students, and maybe some professors as well. So yeah, you just come learn with us, hang out with us, and stroll around campus with us as well. So there's that.
Dig that. I'm really trying to be quiet. That's why I'm not asking
Oh
questions.
my goodness. So I'll ask this because I'm curious. So you mentioned having to be resilient and having all the ups and downs with big. Do you have a personal mantra that you kind of repeat for yourself to keep you going and keep you kind of engaged in what you're doing, and a why, right? What's the fuel behind that? Do you have a mantra, anything like that for yourself?
Let's see. I don't necessarily have a mantra. I just have I guess I don't know, a archive of things that I'll go back and look at, or an archive of things that I'll go back and review, especially when I'm CTF challenge mode and I'm looking at Black history overall. But I think that honestly, there isn't a way to have a mantra in this, because things change so constantly, but you do have to have solidified principles and just look at how far we've come. Because it's so easy to say, oh, Blacks in cyber, it's dependable for this, and you can do that. But all of that dependability is built on trying to push through when there wasn't necessarily a way. And that's, equivalent to what our ancestors have had to do in the past, and people in other countries have had to do. So in all honesty, just knowing your history, understanding where you came from, and understanding that it's bigger than the program. I didn't start out trying to do this with this big thing, this big ostentatious thing to take over or do whatever. The goal was to build a community. And if you can just focus on that and understand where we came from, to understand where we're going, that's everything you need. So definitely derive strength from the stories that have been told before and the history that we know. So definitely that.
Where are you from? I keep hearing you use words like homogenous, ostentatious. Where are you from?
Where am I from? That's a different question to ask in the Black community, right? Because we don't know. Just kidding. But
Well, because I'm just I love these words, and also, where are you from?
right. So I mean, I'm from, I guess, the DC metro area, Virginia
Oh,
area.
you are? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
So I went to school in Virginia, have some family up and down the East Coast. So a couple different places and, different places, few cultures, a few different cultures are married in. So of course I've gotten experience more of the West African culture. So there's that. But yeah.
Yeah, no. So the reason I actually asked that or even clocked it is because you're young. You're still pretty young, and the way that you're able to essentially keep a dialogue going without any real pauses, word fillers, and you can include multi-syllable words. I'm just over here like we need to talk. We need to, like, wow, that's crazy. You're just the way you present yourself. You know what I mean? It's not common. Like, let's just be honest. Like, you're a total superstar. So I don't know. I'm having a lot of moments today.
That means a lot.
Right. No, you're right. You're
right. I wish people would talk to me more, because a lot of times they'll just look at me or like make, I guess, an opinion. But, I just wish I'd have more dialogue. So this definitely inspires me to talk more, trying to come out of that, right? And just tell people and show people our mission and vision and about myself as well. So that means a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, of course. And you see, I keep pausing not to talk because otherwise I'm such a huge fan of people who you're out here, you're giving back to the community. You're clearly empathetic. You're really doing it from a place of sincerity. And on top of that, you're just like organically, you give off this energy that a lot of people don't see or even have. So to me, it's just like you witness, what is that thing that only comes around? That thing that's like a comet or something? Or like, I don't know, you're like a unicorn. I was trying to think of something smart.
Haley's comment?
Nah, but you're like a unicorn. So whenever we do stuff like this, I'm like, I want to keep things as like serious as possible without me being goofy because I don't want the message to get missed. You know what I mean? So
what you said was pretty deep. It wasn't goofy at all. I thought it was good. So you showed up.
My next question, or I guess our last question before we try to get out of here, is when people talk about Michaela in the future, what would you want them to say about you? And not your title, not your resume, but what would you want them to say about why you're doing what you're doing?
Yeah, that's definitely a deep one. Okay. Let's see. There's just a lot of ways to go with that, I think. But ultimately, I would just want people to say, hey, she had the vision. She knew what to do. She stood the course. And I think that that's all you can really say, because everything else is very like, oh, maybe I'm the quiet person in the background of your life, or maybe I'm interfacing with you every day. Like, come on, team, let's go. We have things to do. We have places to be. We got a conference next week. Let's move. Like, you're so many things to so many people. And once you realize that, you're either the quiet person in the background, you're the forefront person in like their for life, you're the friend that they catch up with every once in a while. You're the person who's quietly in the group chat. It's like you're a different thing to every person. But ultimately, I think that it kind of just, you could just streamline your storyline into, principles, character, and mindset. And I think that if they can highlight that, then that's enough for me.
This has been great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
No problem.
I definitely appreciate it.
she keeps looking at me because I was supposed to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, really, but thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. And this has been great. Candace, you want to say thank you?
Thank you. No, it was. You have a really good energy, right? And you share freely, and you share some really good nuggets with us. So again, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's been great.
You pour so much into other people, and you have this energy. Like, we've talked to a few people now who have, I think Candace has it as well, but you're very empathetic, meaning I feel like you deal with a lot of like energy transference, and you probably take on a lot. So just as much as you pour into other people, always be willing to allow people who truly have good intentions to pour into you, and just accept it, right? Because you're gonna need it. Like, I see you're gonna do big things, and you're already there, but you're gonna continue to elevate. So as you're doing that, just don't forget to take care of yourself. And that's all I have for you. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, you clearly you're giving a lot. Don't be afraid to get it back too.
Yeah, that definitely makes
You can
sense.
cut this part out though, Anthony.
I'm not cutting any of that.
That's the good part.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, but it's like when you meet somebody who you're like, this person is going to change the game, they're going to change the world. let me just remind you, like, you still got to take care of you, though. You know what I mean? So that was it. I'm done. Okay, bye. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the Stats on Stats podcast. We will see you next time. Stay wavy.
This was a great show. Thank you for everyone who is watching us, the Stats on Stats podcast episode again. I'd like to say thank you to Miss Candace. Would you like for them to know how to get in contact with you?
You asked that last time, and I totally forgot that you were going to ask it. So Cyber Ally on LinkedIn or Instagram, that's my handle, CYBHERALLY.
You know how to get in touch with us. And Michaela, is it okay that we give your information out to the people who are listening?
Sure. I guess for Blacks in Cyber, you can Google us and our social media comes up. For myself, I'm at MK48 on pretty much everything. Yeah, you can find me and connect.
Awesome. Okay, I guess we'll see you next time.